very well, and we've had an incredible day one. We've arrived here to day two with the global audience with us once again, and we certainly are in for a storm here in California, but nevertheless, we will proceed. We have so much more and further to go. We certainly hope that you've been keeping well.
Life has been incredible. Hello, everybody out there. I appreciate y'all joining.
Special shout out to Adrian. He's with us. He drops wood with us. He's one of our GatherVerse explorers. Let's lean in because we only have a few minutes to be able to do what it is that we do, Adrian. And it comes so fast and it goes even faster.
Right.
Artificial intelligence, this isn't new. We talked about this. We leaned in. We were in the forest talking about it with several of our speakers and panelists and roundtablists yesterday. What is it that now AI is in the hands of everyone? Now, mind you, last year, and you appropriately said, Adrian, we're not running from this technology. We can't afford to slow down. We have to confront it head on. And so it's very interesting that that was the change in pace of the adoption and the forecast look of what so many platforms of industry assumed mantle on such expression. Now it's in the hands of everyone. What do we do with it, Adrian?
You know, it's interesting, Christopher. Like, we don't know what to do with it. That's why everyone's so afraid of it, as well as so, gung ho about it, right? It solves some practical issues, right? If you can't draw, and now I can type a prompt in and it lets me draw. Oh, wow. That's a practical use case, right? If NFTs would have done that, they would have been the big talk still, right? If they would have given some utility, and AI has provided a lot of utility, but it's also caused a lot of fear for the wrong reason. It's wild to see.
It is wild to see, and there are still those that are apprehensive. And even yet, while we talk about AI in the hands of everyone, you and I know, and our GatherVerse community knows, and those that are with us today, that it's not necessarily in the hands of everyone. We hope that that's the desire, but the reality is that there's countries and cross-continental and transmetropolitan that still haven't even accessed this technology, which just seems so present and that it's already been here for some time. But the reality is that we're at a 29 to 30% adoption rate, and we haven't really seen the full magnitude, what it looks like cross-sector, public and private sector of AI in the hands of everyone. But at the level of human betterment, Adrian, what is it that we want to see when it comes to these large language foundational models that have arrived to our shores?
We always look at the gaming and the entertainment, and that's great. Those are my field. I love those things, right? But looking at education, looking at people who have trouble in a lot of areas, even beyond that, right? How is the AI going to be able to make a person who's paraplegic be able to speak to his wife who hasn't spoken to in X amount of years, right? How about people who are not audible and have autism? How can they communicate? These are the tools we should be leaning towards and should get everybody excited about AI. Unfortunately, the way AI is currently scoped isn't even really AI. People are like, oh, iRobot. And wait, so you're talking about robotics? You're not talking about, and people automatically link these technologies, and there's some, there's some symbiosis there, sure, right? But it's not what people think it is. And as long as we put that out there and we're fear mongering, it's not going to get the adoption that it deserves. And then, only then, it can take over because only certain people are aware of how to use it as well as how to control it.
And I certainly appreciate that because it's very profound and rather interesting. I won't go on too much of a riff with it, but this existential crisis by the media and the news and the very ones that built it, and they don't get to tell us which to decide which existential crisis means more than the others. It would have been nice to realize that there were far more existential crises upon our shores before AI wound up in the hands of so many people. But that's for a different summit. We won't lead into that too far into that.
Right.
But I have a concern, Adrian. Help me to itch it, if you will.
Sure.
This month, as you know, we had the superhero engine, our She Summit, which was rather successful. Shout out to the superhero engine. If you're out there, I have a concern coming from that because I get the sense that there's not enough people of culture, women, communities of color, and so many different aspects globally around this world that aren't necessarily in equitable positions to be able to contribute to the development of this technology. If we're talking about AI in the hands of everyone, shouldn't everyone have the opportunity to build it?
I mean, I would love nothing more. Everyone should have these opportunities. Look, a lot of this stuff, I'm gonna call it what it is. It's by design. You know, there's been a lot of separation by design for years, and the people who, you know, the DEI programs, and I this is a touchy subject, but whatever, right? The DEI programs are not designed by equitable and inclusive people, right? It's one person saying, oh, this is going to be good for everyone, right? You take those same programs, you look at emerging technologies, and it's very similar. One person has an opinion instead of going and getting input from the community members that you are looking to help, right? How can you help someone if you don't help them the way they need to be helped, right? When you want to get more people and more diverse opinions and views into AI or XR or any other emerging field, you have to go to the source and listen to them. What is going to help you? Unfortunately, we failed as a community to do that, and here we are.
I find it rather fascinating with the consideration, especially with the XR community. Shout out to our XR community. But the reality is if you're going to extend reality, then you must bring reality with it.
Right. Beautifully said.
Doesn't it speak to the adage, shouldn't we hire the people that we want to buy our products?
That's right. Correct. And we haven't done that. We've failed dramatically. And I think we're starting to see some of the ramifications of it, but you know, we're not even close yet.
Adrian, with the little bit of time that we have, I swear I enjoy sharing this time. It's so finite. With the little bit of time that we have in this particular summit, there's so much that you're engaged in business. There's so many things that you're doing, and there's much more that you see globally. What's the most important thing that we should know at this intersection of humanity and artificial intelligence coming into 2024?
We should know that everyone is in their own space. And I heard this the other day, and it's it was profound when I heard it. Everyone's in their own space. Everyone's trying, right? So if we're going to bring any kind of technology in, it has to be rooted in empathy and love and understanding that if I were in the position of someone that either I don't see as my equal or someone that is annoying me, or, you know, I would want a little bit of leniency, right? And we don't give that. We're very judgmental. We don't provide that we would want ourselves, you know. We need to bring the golden rule back. We really do, you know. And it until we do that, technology can't fully evolve because it's only on coming from a greedy or a predatory place, when in honesty it should be aiming towards a utopia. Let's aim towards a utopia together.
Those are very interesting considerations. And I know you've got the GatherVerse community buzzing with it. It seems to me that if we're so willing to give all these new AI platforms a try, an adoption, might we do the same with one another
Right.
of compassion?
Right.
It goes by so fast, as quick as it's come, as quick as it's gone. GatherVerse community, a special shout out to Adrian, Rashad, Driscoll. Coming up next, we have a powerhouse panel. We have some minds that are going to lean into this subject. We're so very happy to have them here with us. To our YouTube community that's in the chat, what is the most important focus that we should have for 2024 coming into this AI era that has now been upon us for some time, and it seems to be quite progressive? Shall we continue? May our gather be well.
Take care, everyone. Take care, everyone.